Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
what's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your plate.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Evening, welcome to News Desk. 45 minutes of the latest news from Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is Monday, May 26, 2025. My name is Marka Davis, anchoring this edition of the news program. The top stories we are following tonight: Chief Justice Myean under fire for the withdrawal of public defenders from magisterial courts across the country as Human Rights Commission Chair Dempster Brown says the decision is hindering access to justice in rural Liberia. Good news for the health system as 32 Liberian health practitioners return home following a 2-week intensive training in China. Opposition NPP comes in sharp defense of Senator Edwin Snow over allegations of plotting to destabilize the government of Liberia, challenges the government to present credible evidence against the Bomi County senator. And of the home front, former DR Congo President Joseph Kabila returns to the country for the first time in 2 years, the BBC is reporting. The details of these developments, including the news bulletin, voices of the newsmakers, sports, are all part of this presentation. We're taking a short break to be back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into Truth FM 96.1.
As a reminder, this news program is sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Let's now cross over to Naketa Roberts to bring us the news bulletin tonight. Good evening.
Good evening, Marka. Good evening, everyone. The chairperson of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights has questioned Chief Justice Myean's decision to withdraw 46 public defenders from various magisterial courts in the country. Councillor Dempster Brown said Justice Yo's action to end public defenders' legal services for poor people is seriously hindering access to justice as search lawlessness has increased, especially in the rural areas. Councillor Brown revealed that RNCHR monitors reports showed that Nimba County have the highest violation of human rights records, followed by Bomi County, claiming that people were taking the laws into their own hands due to the absence of public defenders in magisterial courts. Councillor Brown further said public defenders are regarded as poor man's lawyers, and once the priest of the High Court took reconsider her decision by restoring the public defense system at various magisterial courts. The RNCHR chairperson made the statement Monday when Pan International donated 2 motorbikes to his institution to enhance the Commission's monitoring efforts across the country. 32 health practitioners, primarily nurses, have returned home following a 2-week intensive seminar in the People's Republic of China. The seminar, fully sponsored by the Chinese government, forms part of ongoing bilateral cooperation aimed at strengthening Liberia's health delivery system. According to the Ministry of Health press release issued on Monday, participants were exposed to international best practices and innovations in public health and health standardization. In the training, future lectures on topics such as ancient and modern China, the legal framework for health standards, and comprehensive sections on the International Organization for Standardization. The team, headed by Assistant Minister for Curative Services, Dr. Tian Sakin Moore, arrived in Liberia over the weekend following the 2 weeks of intensive training. The opposition National Patriotic Party has expressed concerns over the recent allegation linking its partisan Senator Edwin Snow to purported plot to destabilize the government of Liberia. The NPP, through a press release, demands that the government of Liberia present credible and substantive evidence to convince the Liberian people that Senator Snow was involved in planning any subversive activities within or outside the territorial bounds of Liberia. The former ruling party said it holds the view that the Bomi County senator has constantly conducted himself with responsibility and integrity, both in and out of Liberia. According to the release, Senator Edwin Snow, as a citizen of Liberia, reserves the right, like all Liberians, to freely express his views and participate in national political discourse. The party noted that it is mindful of Liberia's history, particularly of past despotic regimes that employ false accusations to suppress opposition voices. The NPP noted that in absence of clear and compelling evidence, the party regards this allegation as reminder of those dark periods. Furthermore, the party says it is deeply concerned about the government's handling of the matter that has placed Senator Edwin Snow and his family at serious risk. The NPP is therefore calling on the Liberian National Police to take immediate and adequate measures to ensure the safety and protection of Senator Snow and his family. In a related development, the chairman emeritus of the Movement for Economic Empowerment has in the strongest terms condemned recent altercation between some officials of government and some opposition leaders. Speaking to RCN News on Monday, James Brooks made specific reference to some lawmakers' rebuttal to a statement made by renowned opposition leader Edwin Snow, in which he allegedly said he will use his position at ECOWAS to ensure the Barker administration fails, something Snow has since denied. The former chairman of MOVE, James Emmanuel Brooks, called on members of the ruling and opposition parties to stop making statements that have the propensity to undermine the peace and reconciliation efforts being made by President Joseph Barker. The one-time mayor of St. John River City in Grand Bassa County applauded President Joseph Barker for efforts aimed at reconciling members of the ruling and opposition parties. James Brooks, meanwhile, acknowledged officials of government to focus on delivering on President Barker's arrest agenda for inclusive development and refrain from making divisive comments. As campaign for Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council is nearing closure, Liberia permanent representative at the International Maritime Organization has outlined benefits the country stands to gain if elected. The International Maritime Organization is the United Nations specialized agency responsible for the safety and security of international shipping and the prevention of marine and atmospheric population by ships. Ambassador Robert Pade said Liberia election at Category A status will cement its position in the global shipping industry as the category comprises of 10 states with the largest interest in providing international shipping services. According to him, Liberia is the only African country in Category A seeking for a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. Pade said the launch will be commemorated with an evening dinner hosted on the cruise boat, the Sevald Barracuda, riding along the Thames River in London, the United Kingdom. He said Liberia, as a founding member of the IMO since 1949, has played a pivotal role in revolutionizing the shipping industry, and her efforts to retain her seat in the top level of IMO from 2026 to 2027 is applause for the country. A solidarity movement, the Pan-African Forces for Africa movement, has termed government's alleged refusal to grant them permits to carry out a peaceful walk in Monrovia as gross disregard to the tenet of democracy. The group recently paraded in the streets of Monrovia with a photograph of Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traoré, a march the government through the Ministry of Justice has since condemned, terming it as illegal. Addressing a news conference over the weekend in Monrovia, the group's chairman Emmanuel Payne noted that in commemoration of Pan-African Month, which is observed in May every year, they wrote the Ministry of Justice to grant their permit to parade in the streets of Monrovia as part of activities marking the observance of the day. According to Payne, the Unity Walk, which was intended to honor Pan-Africanists like Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Ibrahim Traoré, and others, were denied that was denied by the Ministry of Justice through its Assistant Minister for Administration and Public Safety, Hendrik Noah. He pointed that it is hypocritical for peaceful citizens who are resolved to honor Traoré for his courage and decisive stance in transforming the African nation to be denied, while the very government is seen in Burkina Faso lobbying for its campaign for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. The group has meanwhile vowed to officially communicate with the government and people of Burkina Faso that the youth of Liberia are not in conspiracy with the government of Liberia with any form of imperialism against them. The Liberia chapter of the Myean River Union Youth Parliament has announced a nationwide exercise to update its database of youth organizations actively engaged in peace building, advocacy, and related civil initiatives in the country. The Speaker of the Liberia chapter of the Parliament, Daniel Nils, stated that the initiative will help identify, collect, and empower youth-led groups by fostering greater collaboration and impact in national development efforts. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Monday, Nils pointed out that the nationwide youth exercise will run from May 26 to June 9, 2025. According to Daniel Nils, the mapping exercise is a crucial step towards strengthening the collective capacity of Liberian youth in the areas of peace building, security, and sustainable development. A retired mayor of the armed forces of Liberia has underscored the need for the empowerment of the AFL veterans to engage into meaningful ventures to help in the national development drive. Anthony Jackson Malou wants the National Bureau of Veteran Affairs to provide the needed support to veterans to get involved into agricultural infrastructure development projects, among others. Speaking in an interview with the station, Major Malou, who is now the state prosecutor, said that the retired army still have professionals whose skills can be used to implement meaningful development projects. Major Malou is therefore encouraging retired soldiers to remain loyal to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Joseph Boakai, who himself, a retired mayor, is uplifting the lives of the Liberian people. The Commissioner General of Expo World 2025 in Osaka, Japan, has disclosed that Liberia's participation has attracted over 80,000 visitors to the Liberian Pavilion. Former Cultural Ambassador Julie Endy revealed that people who have visited Liberia's pavilion have shown immense interest in the culture of the Liberian people. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Monday, Ambassador Endy pointed out that during the expo, Liberians were given the opportunity to showcase Liberia's tourism sector and investment opportunities. She emphasized the importance of global collaboration and transformation in addressing pressing challenges in areas of conflict, change, public health, and sustainable development. A resident of Zuba Town in Painesville has expressed disappointment in District Number 4 Representative Marka Davis, Reverend Francis Hill, explaining to RCN News on Monday, said after fire destroyed his family home, the Commerce Minister came in to help, but did not materialize due to the involvement of the office of the District 4 Representative Marka Davis. Reverend Francis Hill noted that Representative Marka Davis' office promised to help, but has not made any intervention so far. The fire, which occurred in the early evening hours on Friday, May 2nd, completely engulfed Reverend Hill's residence, leaving him and his family with nothing, something he said. The silence from the district representative has been deeply disheartening. He's meanwhile calling on well-meaning Liberians, humanitarians, and national government to help rebuild his home as he and his family are currently homeless. Representative Smo Mobile has called for accountability in the use of $77,000 United States dollars given to Montserrat County by Firestone, Liberia. The District 3 representative is criticizing the superintendent of Montserrat County for his alleged failure to give account of the usage of the funds meant for social development. Representative Mobile claimed that when Firestone Rubber Company released the funds to the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, it was agreed by stakeholders that the money in question be used for the construction of a youth rehabilitation center in Bentall. Speaking in an interview with the station, Representative Mobile maintained that in recent days he has received information that the superintendent has decided to purchase a bus to be transporting employees to Bentall. But to his surprise, he has not seen any bus being purchased, nor has he seen an bidding process for the procurement of the bus. Briefly out of Liberia, former Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila is back in the country for the first time in 2 years. He arrives in the rebel-held eastern city of Goma, spoke people for the rebels as well as a youth leader for his party have said. That RCN News Bulletin is back to Marka Davis for the continuation of News Decks.
Ria TV, True FM.
See Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV.
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your later Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News Summary of 12. My name is Hanson Derek present. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange. Well, thanks to Naketa Roberts for bringing us the news bulletin tonight. It is a regular feature here on News Decks. If you're just joining us, you are listening to 45 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. In one of the top stories we are following tonight, opposition NPP comes in sharp defense of Senator Edwin Snow following allegations of plotting to destabilize the government of Liberia, challenges the government to present credible evidence against the Myean County senator. To this first development, the chairperson of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights has questioned Chief Justice Myean Yo's decision to withdraw 46 public defenders from various magisterial courts across the country. Councillor Dempster Brown said Chief Justice Yo's action to end public defense services for poor people is seriously hindering access to justice, as such lawlessness has increased, especially in rural parts of the country. Councillor Brown revealed that INCHR monitors reports show that Nemba County have the highest violation of human rights record, followed by Myean County, claiming that people were taking the laws into their hands due to the absence of public defenders in the magisterial court. He spoke to our reporter on Monday in Monrovia.
My foundation is getting at the highest speed. Monitor for the field, how to set up report. They are really advising that. So this news Myean County in recent time had the highest population rate. Sometimes they don't see people in the street, maybe people judges. And so the months after protocols. So hence because this government has a greater tax to pay, protecting the rights of the citizens. And protecting the rights of the citizens, we have to give information to the government, tell them what is happening before we notice. We don't take the law in their own hands because the citizens come from two food. We notice that it's a very important to all the defendants from the magistrate to the court. As a result, they are no longer the magistrate can be prosecutor and defender and magistrate. So which things that we have to inform them. We use this occasion to inform the government that things are getting happening. It's a time it's generally the defender citizens are being in recent time, back on the other, gentlemen is and you two are doing actually picking up the wasn't great. We want to research one giving and putting to us. So things are very hard headed. It stops the ability of justice to make sure that things are correct. Civil for instance, it's a very recommendation to return back to the magistrate so the access to justice will work.
He is the chairperson of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights, Councillor Dempster Brown, there speaking on Monday when Palm International donated 2 motorbikes to his institution to enhance the Commission's monitoring efforts across the country. The opposition National Patriotic Party has expressed concern over the recent allegation linking its partisan, Senator Edwin Snow, to a purported ploy to destabilize the government of Liberia. NPP, through a press statement, demands that the government of Liberia present credible and substantive evidence to convince the Liberian people that Senator Snow was involved in planning any subversive activities within or outside the territorial bounds of Liberia. The former ruling party said it holds the view that the Bomi County senator has consistently conducted himself with responsibility and integrity both at home and abroad. Well, in a related development, the chairman emeritus of the Movement for Economic Empowerment has, in the strongest terms, condemned recent altercation between some officials of government and the opposition community. Speaking to RCR News on Monday, James Brooks made specific reference to some lawmakers' rebuttal to a statement made by renowned opposition leader Edwin Snow, in which he allegedly said he will use his position at ECOWAS to ensure the Boakai administration fails, something Snow has denied. The former chairman of MOVE, James Brooks, called on members of the ruling and opposition parties to stop making statements that have the propensity to undermine the peace and reconciliation efforts being made by President Joseph Boakai.
We are saying here as a people and as a nation, we will not be here, a few group of people in government and other government, to see our government be destroyed or be undermined. It's not a good thing. Why bring people here for peace and reconciliation? And His Excellency the President called up opposition, some of the opposition and feminist citizens, to a meeting on May 15 for reconciliation talks, which will resolve between the President, His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, after a few times, and some other officials in the government come for reporters. It's not a good thing. You should have thought earlier when it happened. But after the president had met with the people, the feminist citizens, The Muslim community, the Christian community turned their hands all it, though the opposition branch were wrong for some other official of government within its government to say the Penny Rebecca, especially as it relates to the senator of Homey County, Senator Edwin Snow. But then they recall him, making a statement to recall him. These things, we don't want confusion in this country. While the Liberian people are moving with peace and fighting their own battle and saying they find their own daily work, wrong for people to come with those statements, especially at the time we are talking about rebuilding our country.
He is former chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment, James Brooks, there speaking as campaign for Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council is nearing closure. Liberia's permanent representative at the International Maritime Organization has outlined benefits the country stands to gain if elected. The International Maritime Organization is the United Nations specialized agency responsible for the safety and security of international shipping and the prevention of maritime, that's marine and atmospheric population by ships. Ambassador Robert Carter said Liberia's election at Category A status will cement its position in the global shipping industry, as the category comprises of 10 states with the largest interest in providing international shipping services. According to him, Liberia is the only African country in Category A seeking for a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. Carter said the launch will be commemorated with an evening dinner hosted on the cruise boat, the Saver Barracuda, riding along the Thames River in London, the United Kingdom.
A proudly state at the echelon of Category A. So the IMO constitutes about close to 180 member states. 50 of those countries constitute council, and council, of course, is divided into three parts: Category A, Category B, and Category C. Category A happens to be the echelon, and Liberia sits in that category, and it's the only African country in that category. So we've been there for the last 2 years now, and we have been very productive, providing leadership and contribution, very qualitative leadership, very qualitative solution. Liberia recently chairs the MEPC, one of the biggest IMO plenary. We're able to derive resolutions and regulations that will be adopted in July to reduce hydrocarbon. Liberia is the biggest registry in the world with over 5,000 world-class vessels. Liberia pays the highest due to the IMO, totally up to $7 million in US. So our flag is not an ordinary flag, it's a respected flag. We will be running again. We're asking you with a deep sense of humility to put us back there because the world needs us there. We will be joined by close to 100 member states represented industrial leaders. The Moravian delegation has arrived, led by the maritime boss, held on the Thames River on the boat to signify our sensitivity to the significance of water resources. Benefit number one, when you are council, especially at the level and the tier of Category A, where the says privacy, you have the opportunity and the latitude to influence global maritime decision to the benefit of your country and other countries. Because if you say that with America, you say that with Japan, with Great Britain, with China, with Korea, and all of those 9 members, and you make it 10 countries and be able to discuss the interests of maritime and the interests of countries as it relates to maritime, especially LDCs, low developing countries and stuff like that. Benefit number two, a position Liberia strategically in global diplomacy, position to engage with the US, with France, with all powerful nations in the world.
He is Ambassador Robert Cadet, Liberia's permanent representative to the International Maritime Organization. They're speaking about Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council. The Commissioner General of Expo World 2025 in Osaka, Japan, has disclosed that Liberia's participation has attracted over 80,000 visitors to the Liberian pavilion. Former Cultural Ambassador Judy Endy revealed that people who have visited Liberia's pavilion have shown immense interest in the culture of the Liberian people. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Monday, Ambassador Andy pointed out that during the expo, Liberians were given the opportunity to showcase Liberia's tourism sector and investment opportunities. She emphasized the importance of global collaboration and transformation in addressing present challenges in areas of climate change, public health, and sustainable development. The Solidarity Movement, the Pan-African Forces for Africa movement, has termed government's alleged refusal to grant them permit to carry out a peaceful walk in Monrovia as gross disregard for the tenet of democracy. The group recently paraded in the streets of Monrovia with the photograph of Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traoré. A march the government through the Ministry of Justice has since condemned, terming it as illegal. Addressing a news conference over the weekend in Monrovia, the group's chairman, Emmanuel Payne, noted that in commemoration of Pan-African Month, which is observed in May every year, they wrote the Ministry of Justice to grant them permit to parade in the streets of Monrovia as part of activities marking the observance. According to Penn, the Unity Walk, which was intended to honor Pan-Africanists like Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Ibrahim Traoré, and others, was denied by the Ministry of Justice through its Assistant Minister for Administration and Public Safety, Edric Noah.
Of May is African month. As some of us are aware, in 1963, the establishment of the formation of the OAU. So everywhere around the continent, people celebrate Africa. And so we organized a unity march, and we brought the government of Liberia to the Justice Ministry that we want to walk in the street. After we wrote them, our permit was denied by the government of Liberia. And the Pan-African Forces for Africa Liberation, PAFA, unequivocally condemns will perform in the nation and unresolved disdain the deliberate and vicious decision by the government of Liberia through the Minister of Justice, specifically the Assistant Minister for Administration and Police Safety, and to the NJS Noah, to deny our permit for a peaceful unity walk in Monrovia today, May 24, 2025. This unity walk was intended to honor and acknowledge the essence of a progressive mode, recognizing leaders like Thomas Asodori Noah Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba of Congo, Ibrahim Traoré, etc., whose ideology continues to inspire young people across Africa. We were denied permit on the basis that we have Captain Ibrahim Traoré's photo on our flyer, even though the government of Liberia is with Burkina Faso and other African countries for UN security permanency.
Well, he is the chairman of the Pan-African Forces for Africa movement, Emmanuel Payne, there speaking. Well, we've little past the half-hour mark. This is a reminder you are listening to News Dex, 45 minutes of the latest news from Liberia and other parts of the world. Let's now cross over to Erin Batafoyan to bring us sports tonight.
Good evening, Marka Davis. Good evening, everyone. Liberia women's national team has advanced to the semi-final stage of the 2025 Women's WAFU Cup Championship in Mauritania after settling for a 1-1 draw on Monday evening against Mali. Liberia got 5 points to book finals slot in a group comprising 4 countries, namely Guinea-Bissau, host to Mauritania, and group leaders Mali. Benu Yanti leveled the score at 1-1 with a free kick in the first half. Her brilliant performance led her to winning the Women of the Match award, becoming the 10th Liberian players to win the award in the competition. The Liberian women's team defeated Guinea-Bissau 3-1 in the first match, drew with host Mauritania in a 1-1 tie, and with the group leader Mali. Some Liberians had congratulated the women's team on social media for the strides made thus far in the ongoing WAFU competition in Mauritania. Liberia Basketball Association and its partners will host the Jordan Nora Foundation Elite Basketball Training Camp for honor 18 players basketball gymnasium in Pinzo City. The Jordan Nora Foundation Elite Basketball Camp will be held in collaboration with the Federation of International Basketball Association FIBA Africa Zone 3 beginning this Tuesday, May 27, 2025. The initiative is intended to develop young basketball talent the country, providing them with professional level training, mentorship, and opportunities to grow both on and off the court. Zone 3 President Sam Ahmedou, who served as FIBA Africa Executive Board member, disclosed to Truth FM that the camp initiative by the Jordan Noah Foundation Elite Basketball Camp will help the young ones get familiar with the fundamentals of the sport regardless of the duration of the basketball festival. Now to kickball, the Liberian National Kickball Lottery Kickball Competition continued on Sunday with Watanga defeating United Sisters in the home runs in a very tense battle in the day's opening encounter. Shooting Star to demolish the Supreme Kickball Club 10 to 5 home runs in the day's second match, while Vision Sister overwhelmingly defeated Sowa 13 to 2 home runs at SKD Sports Complex in continuation of the knockout championship. Nitora supremacy over Yesmo with a 4-1 home run victory, and his skills and resilience ended the day kickball activities with a 3-3 home run draw, with skill advancing to the next stage after a penalty shootout. The president of the City Stars Caucus Atlantic Social Club has underscored playing paid as a major hindrance in conducting sporting tournaments across Liberia. Speaking on Sunday at the end of this year edition of the All-Star Tournament in Painesville, Tellius Emmanuel Johnson and CEO of the tournament, Lawrence Barcourt, in separate remarks, among other things, underscored financial constraint and playing paid as some major challenges faced during the tournament. Tellers added that access to playing paid remains a major factor hindering various social and athletic club conduct for that's of a recognized tournament under the Liberia Football Association. The tournament held at the SKD practice page brought together 11 teams comprising of inactive and retired players. The final was played between Paris Saint-Germain and Ocean Drive, with Paris Saint-Germain being crowned champions of the tournament following a 3-1 victory in a post-match penalty shootout.
Because whatever you need, you got to see that go to the end. So we just to understand this. That's why challenging me to fix that competition. But many times what you will see is that you will get up because the people who are confused so you want to connect your community. The next time, we advise we as chairman to bring
And after home from Xavier Alonso declared the start of a new era during his official unveiling as the new manager of Real Madrid. Alonso, 43 years of age, was appointed manager of his former club on a 3-year deal on Sunday, replacing Carlos Ancelotti, who will take charge of the Brazil national team. Madrid endured in a disappointing campaign, losing to FC Barcelona on 4 different occasions, including the Spanish Super Cup, the Kings Cup, and the La Liga title. They parted way with one of their longest serving coach, Ancelotti, who won several trophies with them. But during a speech at Madrid's Valladolid training ground, Alonso said it is the start of an era. Added, the Real Madrid fans are excited to begin this new era to grow and to make the history of the club even greater. Well, that's it for the Passion of Life Sports.
Well, sports is a regular feature here on News Desk, thanks to Edwin Bartasfoyan. In more news tonight, Representative Small Mobile has called for accountability in the use of 77,000 United States dollars given to Massarel County for Bar Firestone, Liberia. The District 3 representative is criticizing the superintendent of Massarel County for his alleged failure to give account on the usage of the funds meant for social development. Representative Mobile claimed that when the Firestone Rubber Company released the fund to the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, it was agreed by stakeholders that the money be used for the construction of a youth rehabilitation center in Bentol. But speaking in an interview with the station, Representative Mobile maintained that in recent days he has received information that the superintendent has decided to purchase a bus to be transporting employees to Bentol.
when the fire suit came in with the amount of 7 founding, which is then allotted to our district. As it relates to the SDS decision to development form, this amount was given to the foreign ministry in turn given to the county, which is the superintendent to that of the most rather county officials. So when they received the money, we had a meeting, which we had that money can be disclosed and decentralized in the zero district. And I brought a proposal that talked about the issue of the young people when it comes to growth, because I feel that we have to break out the issue of growth. We brought a proposal where we could go back to the government land there and start doing our foundation. So there was a discussion there, but my office trying to keep on thinking about buying books and books. I mean, secretly it was up. The county was decentralized purpose. Every constituent member would benefit. So I thought why that book would not do well, but I think we were told that it was a cost from a court to penetrate.
Well, his representative Small Mobile of District 3, Mansourado County, the superintendent, Warwick Bryant, is yet to respond to the claims by the lawmaker. Bami County District 3 Representative Sam Jala has dedicated a $22,000 United States bridge in Dowen District. Speaking during the dedication ceremony held over the weekend, Superintendent Miata Dolly termed Representative Sam Jala as one of Liberia's best lawmakers, noting that the District 3 representative has accomplished a lot under his administration. Well, sorry for that wrong accept. Meanwhile, some stakeholders of the county, including the education officer Sam Harris, commended Representative Jala for alleviating the constraints faced by citizens in transporting their local produce from farm to market. The stakeholders believe that the lawmaker is a godsend to redeem residents of District 3 from the prolonged period of bad leadership. In response, Representative Jala reaffirmed his commitment to building additional bridges and rehabilitating all feeder roads in the district throughout his 6-year tenure. Where is Representative Sam Jala of District Number 3, Bami County. In another news, a resident of Zuba Town in Painesville has expressed disappointment in District 4 Representative Marka Thomas. Reverend Francis Hill, explaining to RCR News on Monday, said after fire destroyed his family home, the Commerce Minister came in to help, but it did not materialize due to the involvement of the office of Representative Michael Thomas. Reverend Hill noted that Representative Thomas' office promised to help, but has not made any intervention so far.
It was on Friday on May 2nd, 2005 by 4 o'clock. Since then, there were 4 apartments that got burned. Security people that got burned instantly in about hours. And we had a there that the next morning, the evening time, a team from Mark Thomas' office, headed by one factor, came to inquire about the fire incident and gave an update. And they promised to return the next morning to get us for redress. For Sunday, we are not in hot and the phone over pick up. However, one or two to the topic came in facing so that it can help us, particularly one of our eminent residents of Buko Road, our honorable woman, Honorable Martha Dafuse, who was sitting with Occupy right now and got rent. We want to move to a house that evening and she want to assist or quickly to see how everything the people have a sleeping place. She did well to help her with some things. It was some funding and then she really did well along with some mirroring work around us.
He's a resident of Zubatown in Painesville, District 4, Masrado County. Reverend Francis Hill there speaking. Well, this is all the time we've got to be with you tonight on News Dex. As we take leave of you, these are the top stories we followed. Chief Justice appeared for the withdrawal of public defenders from magisterial courts across the country as Human Rights Commission Chair Dempster Brown says the decision is hindering access to justice in rural Liberia. Good news for the health system as 32 Liberian health practitioners return home following a 2-week intensive training in China. Opposition NPP comes in sharp defense of Senator Edwin Snow over allegations of plotting to destabilize the government of Liberia, challenges the administration to present credible evidence against the Bomi County Senator. And of the Home Front, former DR Congo President Joseph Kabila returns to the country for the first time in 2 years, according to the BBC. Many thanks to all of you for your listening. Thanks to our reporters, correspondents, writers, and editors, and all those who helped to make this edition of News Dex a success. Naketa Roberts read the news bulletin tonight. Edwin Batapoyan, para Sports, Cooper Sagasara Control, and coordinated the sounds. Credit to Myean Torgbean, who has been carrying us live on Real TV Online. Thanks to our sponsors, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. I am Marka Davis. Good night.
Real TV, True FM.
Say Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV.
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we will take your data Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News Summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.